This is why you never assume anything in this league. This is why this is the most fascinating, hardest league in the world at all times. Because on any given day, a team that you don't have much respect for, don't fear very much, isn't having a good season, can give you more trouble than you could ever expect. And that's exactly where the 49ers are here at the 2-minute warning. Welcome to Postgame and Damon. We ain't even in the postgame yet. We're at the 2-minute warning. A 22-17 lead for the Minnesota Vikings is where we are, and a huge third down coming up, which is either going to, I don't know, maybe Minnesota's for the first time tonight going to get brave on a fourth down. The fact that they haven't been brave on fourth down all night long is the only reason why this game hasn't been decided completely in Minnesota's favor so far. Kirk Cousins is out here playing like his name is Tom Brady. You got Jordan Addison making no one miss Justin Jefferson tonight. He's been one of the best players on the field. And unfortunately, on an evening where the 49ers just need something, their defensive line, their much ballyhooed defensive line has not done much for them at all. Dave Corbin is asking, where's Nick Bosa? Great question. Great question. Where is Nick Bosa? He is not reported for duty in this one, not yet. So, look, it's 4th and 6. 4th and 6, and boy, what do we got coming up here? Vikings look like they're going to run out their field goal unit. Look, Moody, if he ever needed to make a 55-yarder, he made one in this game, but boy, he missed an early one that made everyone just say, something's in the air tonight. Again, a terrible defensive evening for the 49ers is pretty much how this game has gotten to this point. You have a Minnesota Vikings team that by any and all expectations was going to struggle through this one a little bit. The exact opposite has happened. You expect Kirk Cousins to underperform on a primetime game. It's kind of haunted him in his career. You put Kirk Cousins on anyone's field, his own home field, anyone's field, and you do it at night, it's not good. So here comes a 50-yard attempt for the Vikings that would put them up 25-17 if it is good. And that ball, I believe, has been pushed wide right. So we got ourselves a chance for the 49ers to win this football game. All of a sudden, the 49ers could still get out of this one alive. It is by only the football god's good graces that they are in this game. I wrote this down earlier to a buddy of mine who is a big Vikings fan, and I said, look, if the Vikings blow this game tomorrow, the headline in Minnesota should read, "Scared money don't make none." Because I thought there were 3 or 4 opportunities to go for it on fourth down that they just didn't take tonight, settling for field goals. So it is 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Brock nearly throws his second interception of the game. Oh, man, 1 minute and 7 seconds left. We got ourselves a compelling finish going on here. A compelling finish while we are muting everything, making sure we are optimized to really get going with postgame when we start. Let me welcome you here to the Bottom Line Bets postgame show. It's good to have you. We're going to have an awful lot to talk about no matter how this ends, even if the 49ers pull out this win, which, given everything that's happened up until this point in the game, would feel like a miracle. That is a reception. It'll have the 49ers about the 50-yard line, and we have got to play tick-tock fast football. If the Niners are going to do anything, Kittle's looking confused, getting lined up right here. Ball is snapped. Purdy slant. Who was that? Who caught that? Who caught that? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Purdy just clocked it. There are 34 seconds left, and they're at about the 42-yard line. The 49ers are out of timeouts. So this could end in bad fashion. Bad fashion here. But it is good to have you. Thank you for coming on by. Like I said, this is going to be a very interesting evening, no matter how it ends. Will it end? Look at it this way. There's going to be some outrage no matter how it ends. If this ends with the second loss in a row in a game that really felt like you're going to win it, boy, that's going to be tough to swallow. But it just goes to show you this league is rough on everyone and everything. And Brock Purdy has thrown an interception, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to hang on to win this game. The only thing the Vikings need to do is get a snap off and in victory formation win it. There's some extracurriculars down on the field. All right. 22-17, Vikings just got the ball back. Good night, Irene, to the San Francisco 49ers. An ugly game with an ugly ending, and Purdy, who had been the only reason why the 49ers were in this game at one point, Purdy to Ayuk, was the only thing the 49ers really had going on offensively, besides bursts of Christian McCaffrey, and he burst into the end zone twice tonight. He is going to be one of the, only silver linings. The amount that he played, which was basically every offensive snap, was more than I expected him to play. But that oblique obviously got shot up with something real good, and Christian McCaffrey gave all he could at the office. There's Kirk Cousins. That is a knee, and that's ball game. Welcome to the Damon Bruce Show here on YouTube. We got Postgame and Damon for you, brought to you by Bottom Line Bets. And let me tell you, my man Stefan has been on fire. He is offering a free day of handicapping with the promo code BRUCE, B-R-U-C-E. Sign up. Daily, weekly, monthly subscriptions. And I got to tell you, I am looking for a big response to that. Please give my man some of your attention. Check out his website. Sign up if you're interested, because he is on a winning track right now. And unfortunately, the 49ers have been knocked off their winning track 2 weeks in a row. After opening 5-0, this is 2 straight losses. There is a game against the Cincinnati Bengals coming up, and the 49ers will have a short week to prepare for that, while the Bengals are coming off of a bye week. And all of a sudden, a great start to the 49ers season could turn into a 5-3 first half with 3 losses going into the bye week if they don't get right against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how important this game was. That was the price of poker going up because of everything that kind of is happening in this league. The Eagles winning last night. 49ers are off winning pace for the 1 seed in the NFC for the first time all year. Woo, this is going to be an interesting week. Larry Krueger and I will have 49ers Wake Up for you starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. We are just getting underway here. Thank you so much for stopping on by. I see you pouring on in. On your way in, hit a like, hit a subscribe. It'd be wonderful to have you here as part of the crew that we got. One of the best chat rooms, I think, in all of Postgame land. We'll start right with Rockin' New Era 84. Steve Wilks not doing good with this defense. Look, I don't know if this was Steve Wilks, this was Kirk Cousins. I'm going to have to watch this thing twice before I really wrap my mind around what exactly happened. But today was a bad day for this 49ers defense. And look, Steve Wilks came here with a guarantee that no matter what he plans on doing around this defensive line was built to take over football games. This defensive line, if we're being completely honest about what's going on here, this defensive line is part of the regression that we're seeing this team take over the last couple of weeks. This defensive line isn't the dominant force that it was. And while the Eagles are winning and getting better and making a trade with the Tennessee Titans to get even better today, if you're telling me this team needs more pass rush right now, I'd believe you. I'd believe you, and I'd tell you it's probably the right thing to go about doing. 49ers need to get better defensively. They really do. They need to get better defensively, and they need to do it right now. Jordan Addison was carving up Charvarius Ward, who did not have a good game tonight. I mean, I don't know who on that defense had a good game tonight. How hurt is Fred Warner is a question that we need to now be asking ourselves, because he was down on the turf lately at the end of this game. But that wasn't good. Never Daunted Radio Network, go Hoosiers. Not happy with the outcome tonight. Thank you for stopping on by. It is good to see so many familiar fames and some new ones. Bucko Sports says, I know this team. You know this one? Here comes, by the way, a little assist from Jillian to turn up that light a little bit. Thank you very much, honey. I do appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Cheers to you all. It's good to have you here. There you go. Now, all of a sudden, this show is getting more light shed on it than the 49ers' problems. I mean, good God. This was not on Jake Moody. Even though he missed one tonight, this was not on Jake Moody. And look, you know, there's no reason to now talk about Nick Bosa as, you know, someone who is not worth the contract that he was given. But he is not having anywhere near the season that got him to the top of the who might be the best in football playing defense pile. Rich Alexander says, look, Bosa sucks this season. Pressure is nice, but not for defensive player of the year. And I'll agree with you on that one. I mean, it's time for this defensive line to drop the nuance and start dominating games again. That is not happening. It's not happening right in front of our eyes. And I don't know what this team needs to get that defensive line going. But it's not getting going on its own. And that's the one thing that basically was the thing you didn't need to worry about all last year. Whatever was going to happen on the football field, the one constant was that defensive line, and it isn't anymore. It isn't anymore. Javon Hargrave is having a better year so far than Nick Bosa is. Eric Armstead, I didn't hear his name once tonight. I didn't hear Nick Bosa's name once tonight. So that's a problem. When Randy Gregory is in the backfield more than anyone who you've gotten used to, that's not good. You know, when this defense doesn't get any pressure, the secondary gets exposed. This is a 9 or 10 win team, maybe. Look, 10 is good. 10 is good. 11 is real good. And 12 might get you home field advantage. At least that's the way it looked a couple weeks ago. But with the Eagles playing like they're playing, I don't know. Again, there is a lot of football left. You can't take tonight and explain that it is going to be the end-all, be-all of everything you might or might not be at the end of this year, okay? There are 10 games remaining in the schedule. You haven't even had a bye week. But there is a palpable level of disgusted going on here. There's no doubt about that. And this defense, which you could count on right now, no, can't count on it. Garbage, played like garbage tonight. Kirk Cousins, by the way, look, here's a really good point, right? If Kirk Cousins did this, imagine what Joe Burrow and company could do. That's a reality now that you absolutely have to look at and face. Look at what this might be when Joe Burrow gets here on a bye. On a bye week. And it's going to be it is going to be a short week for the 49ers. Again, thank you so much for coming on by. It's great to have you here. We're good when the 49ers win. Might even be a little better when the 49ers lose, because in a world that, you know, gets irrational, we try to keep it rational here. Again, the season is not over. The ultimate dreams of winning it all are not over, okay? But defense did not look good. Never Daunted with our first super chat of the night. This looks like it was Tom Allen. Failure on all levels. Yeah, there's a little bit of that in this one. But again, I don't know if this was a failure of Kyle's. It was just a defensive failure, and it was a night where Kirk Cousins turned into Peyton Manning. I mean, he's pretty good. Normally not that good. Certainly normally not that good in prime time, but we got the final numbers coming in here. Kirk Cousins was 35 of 45 for 378 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he was sacked. Here's something I didn't expect. Here's something no one could have expected, right? The 49ers were going to lose a turnover battle against the most turnover-prone team in all of football. You like that? Golden State Lakota. You like that? Yeah. If you're a Vikings fan, you like that. Uh-oh, Mrs. Plouffe even knows that this one did not go well. She's dropping the oof. It is an oof. Look, the only thing that really kept the Niners in this game was a whole bunch of settled for field goals. This could have been a lot worse. This could have been a lot worse than the scoreboard actually showed. So, whatever you need to do to improve this football team, you got about 9 days to do it. October 31st, Halloween is your trade deadline. Is that how it goes? This team needs to sell off a little bit of future because this is your window right here. You go ahead, you move those picks for Brian Burns. You go ahead, you move those picks if you have to. This team needs to get better right here, right now. And you can talk about how Robbie Gould needs to be back on the team. This, again, maybe I would pick up a corner who's out there playing almost every defensive play than a kicker. And if you got money to do it both. If you got money to bring both back. Kirk Cousins was better than anyone expected him to be tonight. Fading Kirk Cousins, betting against Kirk Cousins has made a lot of people a lot of money throughout the entire gambling world. Certainly this year, we watched this Vikings team essentially just gag it away every single time. Every single time you looked up, they were stepping on their own dicks. They didn't do that tonight. Well, they did it once when Ward did have a hell of an interception. That was a manly interception to start the game for the 49ers. Wrestled it right away from Jordan Addison, but then Jordan Addison turned around and decided to drop a 7-catch, 123-yard, 2-touchdown game, one of the best games he's ever going to play in his career. This guy's played, 6 games? Anyways, maybe the good news is that Bruce Bochy's close to the World Series. What's going on in that Rangers game real quick? Let me see that over there. Oh, my God. The Rangers are up 11-4, bottom of the 9th. Bruce Bochy's going to be going back to the World Series. There's your good news. There's your only good news for you here on the post-game show. Welcome. It's great to have you. Bruce Bochy's going back to the World Series, everybody. But I know you're not thinking about that right now, because the 49ers have gotten beaten 2 weeks in a row. They've beaten themselves. They've gotten beaten. And this has been a bad couple of weeks. And next week doesn't look like it's going to be any easier with the Cincinnati Bengals coming on into town. It was soft coverage, I thought, all game. Soft coverage. Middle of the field seemed to be wide open. This team, look, do you got the right horses to play some man-to-man with? Because this zone's getting pumped. I'll give you that. This zone is getting pumped. Yeah, I mean, there was just no Nick Bosa, no Eric Armstead. Crispy AF says, why did we keep Armstead over Buckner? Or what? Well, first of all, Buckner was going to cost you more money. But yeah, you want to talk about the big mistakes that this team has made throughout the years. Again, I don't want to talk about that level of, let's pick it all apart. There's enough in this game alone to pick apart tonight. I don't want to go backwards in time. I really don't want to project to what might happen next week against Cincinnati, because there is absolutely no momentum in between games. But you're not going to like that rest advantage. Cincinnati's absolutely coming in with a rest advantage. So, Brock Purdy was playing a good game until 2 interceptions. 21 of 30 was Brock for 272 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked once. He made some plays with his legs that I thought really kept some plays alive. But then he had 2 just kind of float away from him in the middle of the field, and the Vikings came down. Another Damon Chang. Get a damn cornerback. That might be the right course of action. That might be the right course of action. Again, Steve Wilks is an easy target. He's low-hanging fruit for not only fans to be angry at, but critics to be angry at. You're going to hear a whole bunch of sports talk show hosts saying, Steve Wilks is now the problem. He's the new guy. He's the difference. He must be the problem. Maybe. I'm going to tell you this defensive line is a problem, and I'm not going to hold it against Steve Wilks that this defensive line has been just underplaying. That's on them. That's on those guys. Eric Armstead, non-existent. Nick Bosa, non-existent. Haven't said Drake Jackson's name since week 1. This isn't good. Randy Gregory has showed up and has done more in the backfield, at least by getting into the backfield in 2 weeks, than some household names on this defensive line have been able to do in this entire season. Look, you want to say the Nick Bosa holdout is the reason why he's not who you want him to be? Maybe, but he's played enough games. Nick Bosa has played enough games to this point in the season to where his off-season holdout shouldn't mean anything at this point. Sometimes you get your ass kicked. Sometimes you get your ass kicked by a bad team. And that was a funny kind of weekend in football. You saw a lot of count them out, they're not going to get it done football teams not get it done. Trent Williams, Debo, a difference in this game. Maybe it would have helped the 49ers move the chains more on third down. Maybe it would have helped the 49ers score a little bit more. But the problems for the 49ers tonight were on third down defensively. They couldn't get off the field. Could not get off the field. Diego, I love your rational in the vacuum thinking. It's just one game, but it's 2 losses in a row now, and you can see a path to 3 losses in a row. You can see it. You can feel it. Again, Derek Jones says, this team is garbage. No, the San Francisco 49ers are not garbage. Have you been watching the NFL? Have you been watching or paying attention to anything in the NFL this year? Shit's hard out there, kids. It is every single year. Every single year. You know, this isn't a Super Bowl contender. Jim, you can't contend for a Super Bowl in week 7. They're not playing it this week. You know, what is a Super Bowl contender in your mind? Well, how about the teams with some of the best records in football? Falling to 5-2, the 49ers still have one of the best records in football. Okay? Again, maybe the NFL isn't cut out for all of you. You got to know how to stay a little calm at times. This wasn't a good game. Last week wasn't a good game. Neither week 6 nor week 7 will matter when the playoffs get here. And I think the 49ers are still going to be a playoff team. And if you don't think they're going to be a playoff team, you haven't been watching anything. Because they're good enough to be a playoff team. Tonight doesn't change that. Look at it this way. Tonight doesn't make Minnesota a playoff team, does it? Would you argue that Minnesota is absolutely should be regarded as a front runner in this league now? No, you'd never make that assumption. You wouldn't. Again, people are going to be coming after Steve Wilks. Derek here saying Steve Wilks is dog shit. It ain't great. It ain't good. But again, Steve Wilks thought he had a defensive line that he didn't really need to worry about, right? This defensive line has not gotten the job done. And if that's Steve Wilks' fault, okay, then it's Steve Wilks' fault. To me, it's not Steve Wilks' fault that you don't say Eric Armstead. You haven't said Eric Armstead's name this year. You don't really say Nick Bosa's name at all this year. You haven't said Drake Jackson's name since week 1. Hargrave has been their best player up front by far, probably followed by Javon Kinlaw. NFL is a young league that includes coaches. Now, if you say they tried to peel one more, layer of paint off the old man when he was done, maybe. But I don't know. To me, I don't think Steve Wilks is the reason why this team is playing poorly. I think the team's the reason why this team is playing poorly. I saw missed tackles. I saw downfield blocking just kicking the 49ers' ass all night. All night. I don't think that, again, look, never daunted. I love you. I'd swing for the fences and trade Bosa. You're out of your fucking mind. He's had a bad start to a year he held out on, okay? He hasn't played up to the contract. It's been 7 games. Come on. Let's not act like kids, right? Don't we eat at the adult table over on this show? We can act like a whole bunch of scared kids who never watched a season of football before, don't understand that this is an up and down league, and the team that looked like dog shit in 1 week can look fantastic the next week. Come on, kids. Be a little bit better than that. And I'm not a homer. I'm not trying to defend this. This was a bad night of football. This is a night of football that won't mean anything when this team's in the playoffs. And I'm telling you that without catastrophic injury, the 49ers are going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a playoff team. And the only thing you need to know about playoff teams is any team in the playoff can win a championship. That's how it works in sports right now. That's how it works in the NBA. It's how it works in the NHL. It's how it works in football. A 1 seed doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't. Now, of course, you'd want to be dominant the whole way through. That's sexy, but that's how football used to be. That's not how football is anymore. This league is built to strip you of success all the time. How about this? I wouldn't agree with this necessarily, but Wishnowsky is still our best player. He's having a great year. The 49ers punter's having a great year. There's no doubt about it. Damon was in here cursing people out for criticizing Kyle. Now, I am not telling you that Kyle lives a criticism-free existence. But the 49ers probably win this game if Charvarius Ward holds onto the interception that he got wrestled away from him the same way that he wrestled away an interception from Jordan Addison. The fact that the Vikings scored on that bang play at the very end of the first half, is that on Kyle Shanahan? Did Kyle Shanahan do that? Did Steve Wilks not make that interception or just get spun around? I mean, that's the thing. It's easy to blame coaches when you like the players enough to not want to blame the players. This loss is on the players. This loss was on the team. At no point in time did I think the 49ers are getting out-coached. I watched this game thinking the 49ers are getting outplayed. Now, maybe you see it differently. We got a couple hours to go in here tonight. We'll talk about all of it, right? But I did not see a team get out-coached. I saw a team get outplayed tonight. I mean, is that fair? Is that unfair? Is that a homer? Is that me with having an agenda? Or is that me watching football for years and knowing what a team getting its butt whipped looks like? And when a team gets its butt whipped, sometimes it's on a coach. I thought this was all on the guys on the field. I thought it was all on the field. You know, to me, where's Ronnie Bell? Why isn't Ronnie Bell involved in this? Where is Jordan Mason? Elijah Mitchell got in there, didn't do much with the opportunity that he got, but he only got 1 carry for -1 yard. You know, only 22 carries tonight for the 49ers. How many plays did the Vikings run as opposed to the 49ers? Hold on, let me open up the team page here. Plays. First of all, the Vikings had 23 first downs. 23 first downs, 7-11 on third down. Vikings ran 61 plays. Niners didn't even get to 50. They topped out at 48 plays, 435 yards of offense for the Minnesota Vikings. How's that on Kyle Shanahan? It is good to have you here. Thanks very much for joining us on the Bottom Line Bets postgame show. Daily, weekly, and monthly subscriptions are available to the single hottest handicapper coming out of Las Vegas. I'd love you to find out for yourself. And there's a promo code BRUCE, B-R-U-C-E, to get a free day of handicapping. You better use it now, or else Bottom Line Bets is going to go away. Stop giving you opportunities to get a free day of handicapping. Spend one day with my man Stefan, chances are you're going to want to sign up for more than the one free day that you get, because he wins. If he's not winning on a football field, he's winning on a baseball field. This guy's got winning picks all over ice rinks. He's dialed in. So find out for yourself at bottomlinebets.com. It is good to have you here. 330-something people in the room. For us, that's a real nice, hey, how are you gathering? It's good to have you on the chat. I'm trying to read these things as fast as they go on by. I really am. If you want to stand out, absolutely don't hesitate to drop that super chat. I'm trying to catch all of those. Obviously, it's going by quickly. We got pissed off fans here. And look, I don't blame you for being pissed off. This is a game that should piss you off a little bit. It should piss you off a little bit because normally a very good tackling team isn't tackling. Not at all. This is a terrible tackling night. Fred Warner had a bad night. That's how bad this game went. Fred Warner had a bad night. Philip Palus. The road to the Super Bowl goes through Philadelphia. Again, we got a long way to go, but as of tonight, correct. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Sean Hensley says it's ridiculous how fans want to eat up a quarterback's confidence. It's stupid. It's unproductive. I'm going to tell you right now, the fans got nothing to do with the quarterback's confidence. If you didn't make it to the NFL, if you're worried about what fans might say about you. I know fans love to think that they got power like that. They don't. Excuse me, I need to cough. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. But again, I didn't see an unconfident Brock Purdy. I saw Brock who threw the two bad balls at really bad times. You know, when you're trying to come back, late interceptions, not good. Not good. But Nick J breaking in with a little good, saying, Bochy. We got a final. Bruce Bochy's in the World Series. He's the first manager in Major League history to win an ALCS with 3 different teams. Here's to Bruce. You know what? Hold on. Here's to Bruce Bochy. To be totally honest, I need one of those tonight too. Yeah. Super Bowl caliber teams don't allow a touchdown with 20 seconds before the half. Like, I thought it was an interception. Give some credit to Jordan Addison, who played his dick off tonight. I mean, 7 catches, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Every single one of those numbers is a career high for the young man. He was incredible. He was fantastic. Look at it this way. Ward didn't make 4 or 5 other plays that bother me more than that. That was just, spectacular football happened against you. Earlier in the game, spectacular football, the exact same play happened twice tonight. Ward won the first one with the interception of Kirk Cousins on the opening drive, and then Addison clearly won the second time around scoring. But again, I didn't think that was incompetent as much as it was unfortunate. There are plenty of Charvarius Ward moments to criticize, I think, before you even start criticizing that one. But because it directly related to points at the end of the half, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Roach Dog Jr., the casuals are having a night. Roach Dog, I hope you're subscribing. You get it. I hope you're in here to help calm the casuals down. And here's a fact that is a fact. This is what happens. 49ers are getting everyone's A-plus game. It's their Super Bowls. I mean, I don't even know about that, but here's the thing. I thought that Joe Buck summed this up. And by the way, Joe Buck, I know that every year people spin around hating on Joe Buck. He's good, man. He makes a game feel bigger just with his voice, doesn't it? Doesn't he? I think he does. Anyway, so Joe Buck basically at the beginning of this game said the 49ers want it, the Vikings need it. And they did. They did. I mean, Vikings lose this game. They're talking about trading lots of pieces. And maybe they still do. I don't think this is going to turn around the Vikings season to an incredibly successful season. And I don't think that this loss is going to turn around a 49ers season into an abject failure. People are saying this team is trash. This team is trash. Like, learn how to talk with something other than an emoji trash bin. It's not, this team is not trash. This team lost tonight. This team needs to play a lot better to avoid losing 3 in a row before it hits the bye week. Trent Williams didn't play. Debo didn't play. Those aren't excuses. They're just facts. We know that both of those guys make this team much better. You're talking about 2 of the tone-setting spirit animals that this team was down tonight. And really, the defense, it was their problem. The offense, all things considered, even with only 17 points, didn't have the worst night I've ever seen. They just couldn't stop the run. And they couldn't stop Kirk Cousins. Well, I mean, 71 rushing yards for the Vikings. They didn't get gashed, but it felt like every single time the Vikings did run, it was a big run. It went from, oh, you're at 1st and 15 to, oh, no, you're totally in 2nd and manageable. So every single time it felt like the 49ers were going to put the Vikings behind the sticks or behind any sort of, chains. They got right back ahead of their chains. The Vikings stayed on schedule all night. The Canthal kid, have not seen your name in here before. I hope you subscribe because I'd like to see you here because you're right. The problem was not execution or ability. The problem was execution and ability, not scheme. I agree. I totally agree. We got David Fox saying the tackling is what confused me. I was confused by it too. I mean, there was some really good downfield blocking, really good downfield blocking. And there was some bad tackling, and the whole thing went into a mix that hurt the Niners tonight. Again, this could have been a lot worse. The Vikings should have been in the 30s, easily. But they left a lot of points on the field with their decisions. At one point, the Vikings had 5 straight scoring possessions, and at the end of all that run, it was only an 8-point game. You score on 5 straight possessions, it's still a 1-possession game, and the other team's not even playing great. The Niners had their opportunities, but they blew it. They blew it at the end. We got here, Kyrie 2021. Damon, give it a rest. You're not the adult you think you are, Bears fan. Because I'm a Bears fan, I know what shit looks like. While you've been sniffing nothing but complaining about losing NFC title games, I'm watching the Chicago Bears suck every fucking year of my life but 1985. I can spot a bad football team 1,000 miles away. See this banner up here? Where's this thing? This says Indiana. It might as well say, my dick gets kicked in every weekend. These sons of bitches are the worst major college football program in the world. I know more about bad, shitty football than any of you. The 49ers are not a bad or shitty football team. They're just not getting their jobs done right now. They're not getting their jobs done. I know what bad football is. How about this? This was a bad football game. This is not a bad football team. And if you think it is, you're a trifling, soft, shouldn't be watching football level of sports fan who should pick up a new TV show. Because this ain't for you. You don't know how the league works. Quit acting like you know how the sausage is made. This shit is hard. It's real hard. The 49ers didn't treat this game like it was important. You know what, Days? I'll give you that. I mean, they came out wrong. They came out wrong. They never really got right. Chris says, hold coaches accountable, Damon. Again, I didn't see an outcoached team. I saw an outplayed team. Damon, the touchdown at the end was on Wilkes. I mean, had Jordan Addison not wrestled the ball away from Charvarius Ward, would you have said that interception was Steve Wilkes's? No, it wasn't. Charvarius Ward had a play, and he had made the play enough to where he got the ball stripped from him, and it's a touchdown the other way. How is that the defensive coordinator's fault? That's a one-on-one, man-on-man battle that your guy lost. Yeah, I again. Well, you should have had a safety over the top and all this stuff. Yeah, it's easy to talk about the defense that you need to be in at all times, right? Especially when the play's over. David says, look, man, I don't want to trade Bosa, but a 5-sack night would be pretty cool. Yeah, you could use one of those for sure. Could definitely use a 5-sack night, right? Yeah, Ray in this offense over Bell or Connolly, I don't know. I don't know. Look, Connolly, let's not put his name into the conversation, but Ronnie Bell, I thought was someone who needed to be involved in this game plan without Deebo Samuel, and he wasn't out there. I don't even know what his snap count was. If he hit the field, I didn't hear his name all night. Didn't hear his name all night. He officially was not targeted once. I don't even know if he got a snap, to be honest with you. Mr. Hardy says, love the show. Well, thank you, and I hope you're not the only one. Go ahead and hit that like. Make the algorithm start spreading this around to a whole bunch of new people who've never even watched me before. I'd really appreciate that. Make this thing grow for me. Thank you so very, very much. What we got for you here on the Bottom Line Bets postgame show is, I hope, an honest discussion about what just happened. Without getting all emotional and overreact. Oh, this team's trash. Oh, they're trash. They're not a contender. They're not. They had bad. They lost 2 games. They've lost 2 games. They've done it against the team that definitely has a better defense than they do. We know that now. Look at it this way. Look at all the yards that the Cleveland Browns just gave up. Look at all those yards that the Cleveland Browns just gave up to Indianapolis with Gardner Minshew. But they won a game, so no one's shitting their pants. Myles Garrett was incredible, by the way. The The Vikings wanted it more than the 49ers, and there's no excuse for that. Again, I wasn't measuring this game in want. I was measuring this game in execution. And the 49ers got out executed. And when it came time to execute defensively, they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I'm going to look at these stats again. 452 yards of total offense. Vikings tonight getting 6.8 yards per play. 6.8 yards per play. So they just whipped the 49ers, who, by the way, averaged 6.1 yards per play. You know, the Niners weren't awful. They just weren't good enough. Look, people overreact. People overreact. You know, fandom, I get it. But if you don't, look at it this way. There will absolutely be times in sports for you to crap your pants. And I'll let you know when it's time to do that. I don't think it's time to do that. Should this season get there, there will be time to do that. I don't think it's going to get there. Fred had a bad night. Are you crazy? Yes, by Fred Warner standards, he had a bad night. Fred was out there missing 13 tackles and a tackle for a loss, 7 solo tackles, but I saw him missing tackles too. I saw him not making the plays that he normally makes. Fred wasn't awful, but he didn't have a typical Fred Warner game. Brett Johnson, thank you for bringing in a little sanity to this insanity. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Look at it this way. It's so easy to just panic and scream about everything. It's easy to do. It takes no effort at all to shit your pants and panic. As a matter of fact, that's pretty much the opposite of effort, right? People are so uninterested in maintaining any sort of reasonable conversation that they take any reasonable conversation and dismiss it as, well, that's Homerism. No, there's nothing. This is not Homerism. This is not someone who lives in San Francisco trying to explain away or excuse anything. Sometimes you lose football games. This was a game the 49ers lost. The Vikings did more to keep the 49ers in this game at times than the 49ers even did, and they had a chance to maybe, again, still win it on the final drive of the game. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. The 49ers have lost back-to-back one-possession games. The opponent has not been a vainglorious, super sexy opponent to lose to, but they've lost 2 games by one possession. Calm the fuck down. I mean, seriously. What was it? 1917? What? So, hold on. Let me see here. Yeah. So the team that was, north of 30 points for 5 weeks in a row has now been held to 17 points 2 weeks in a row. And they have lost, let's see, that's fine. They've lost 2 games by 7 points. And you're going to shit your pants? You fucking pansy. Stop watching football. Seriously. Oh, Steve Wilkes is the worst coach I've ever seen, and I don't know what to do other than just panic and cry. They've lost 2 one-possession games. Jesus. Nick J., I'm pissed off. There's only 17 of these. This D-line is key to holding this weaker secondary, and this D-line has to get it going next week. That's correct. Everything you just wrote right there is correct. Only 17 of these games. That's why everything is so important. That's why there's nothing but overreaction. If there is an overreaction, there's no reaction in the NFL. Again, maybe I would be a more popular, easier to spread around. Look, angry fans love to sit and just gangbang each other with their anger. We don't strap on gangbang anger over here. We just don't. I don't believe in gang mentality, groupthink. I lost today, so everything sucks. Everything is wrong. I do trade Nick Bosa. I mean, what are you, out of your fucking minds? I hate that I have Jordan Addison on my fantasy team today. I mean, not if you played him. The only way you'd hate Jordan Addison on your fantasy, because you know in fantasy football, sometimes you're going to be going against your own reality football interests, right? You know that. Ward was sloppy. Yes. I agree. Ward was sloppy tonight. One of his worst games. "23 first downs is incompetent." I don't know. Incompetent? Wasn't good. Wasn't good. I don't think I'm dropping an incompetent on that, though. Just a bad night. You know, a little too soft. Soft coverage. Need to play more man, more press, more bump and run than you do just slip back into the zone. Hey, Kirk Cousins, he found a little bit of an early confidence, an early rhythm, and he stayed in it, and he played like Peyton Manning tonight. Kirk Cousins had one of the best games of his Minnesota Vikings career tonight. Is that a good sign? No, not really. But he's also a pretty goddamn good quarterback. He's easy to make fun of for a lot of reasons. He's easy to pick on. Here's the thing. 420 Savage says, I hate Troy Aikman. He was enjoying the defeat. Absolutely he was. The Cowboys for life, boy. That's how that works. D-line is getting outplayed. D-line is not getting the job done. I don't know if there's any defensive coordinator who would be having success with zero pressure. And quarterbacks usually have success against zero pressure. Give Brock Purdy. He had a lot of success, I thought, against a very aggressive blitz tonight. It wasn't until the end. You know, those two, you know, as they always do, those two late interceptions while you're trying to make a comeback sure did throw a wrench into the works. But I don't think Brock Purdy had an awful night. He just played poorly when he couldn't make a mistake. I don't think that this is time to be overreacting to Brock Purdy either. Dallas says Cousins was fantastic. They couldn't phase him. Even when he was completely surrounded, he was throwing darts. And here's the thing. He missed two wide open guys in the end zone. This could have been a lot worse. If the Vikings aren't out there settling for field goals, this gets worse. So, you know, no bueno. No bueno. Is it time to call Robbie Gould? I don't know. Do you think Robbie Gould hits that 55-yarder? I don't even think they trot him out there to do it. I don't know. You know, I mean, Nick Moody, he's 7 games into his career. He's missed 3 kicks. I bet you that there are a lot of good kickers who 7 games into their career might have missed 3 kicks. I thought he showed you that he got out of his own head if you're claiming that he was in his own head. But I'm not going to make an excuse. Everyone's upset that Moody missed a field goal tonight. Wasn't good. Wasn't great. but he did hit another one. It's not like it's an abject, utter disaster failure. He's now missed 4 in a row. It's got to go time. But yeah, you should probably call Robbie Gould. Why not? But more than Robbie Gould, I would start looking for corners and pass rush. I really would. Corners and pass rush. Landlord 84 says, hope you get back on the radio, but I love you here. Keep talking shit, Bruce. Here's the thing. Radio schmadio. It is so much more fun to be over here if we just start making money like we used to. I'll never go back. And it'll happen. It'll happen. All it takes is keep doing it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And one of the only things about me that is reliable is I don't stop. So we're going to keep it here. We're going to keep it more real than any radio show is ever even allowed to be. And we're going to keep on going. Didn't see any cunning stunts along that defensive line tonight. No, it didn't seem to be a night of ingenuity. It didn't seem to be a night of guys winning their position battles. They got pushed around by the Minnesota Vikings, who, by the way, have a better run blocking line than they've got a pass blocking line. And having said that, they got 2 of the better tackles in football. Darisaw can play. Bad night. Bad night. Not a good night. I don't necessarily know if that is anything other than just getting outplayed. Postman in Capitola. Minimum football. Yeah, it did feel like that. That was minimum. That was minimum. Adam ? Says, you turned me into a fan of yours with your podcast, with your shitty teams rant. This is coming from a Vikings fan. That was good. Oh, thank you. I don't know. We have one of those so often. I don't even know what shitty teams rant you're talking about. But thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, Adam. Hit like, hit subscribe. Keep it real, dude. Thank you very much, TC. Trying to. And that's the thing. We're just going to go ahead and keep it real. And here is the reality of the San Francisco 49ers season. As some of you are trying to make the case that it is disintegrating in front of your eyes. Hold on. Now that we've officially got week 7 in the books, the 49ers are only trailing 2 teams in football for the best record in football. Oh, they're trashed. They're trashed. They're not contenders. They're not going to win anything. Did you really think you were going to win a Super Bowl by beating Minnesota in week 7? I would say leave the hot takes to the experts, but 95% of the hot take experts are so full of shit themselves that you shouldn't leave you know what? Let's the whole world get out of the hot takes business. Everybody's trying to be the first to declare, this guy's going to be the next. Trey Lance is about to be the single greatest quarterback the 49ers have ever had. Brock Purdy, the guy, he's the single greatest he's the greatest quarterback in the world. Stop trying to, can we meet in the middle? And there's got to be something other than the most extreme side of the Democratic Party, the most extreme side of the Republican Party, because like most normal people are kind of in the middle there. But the middle gets no attention. The middle doesn't move the needle. Talking about something like an adult using ration, history, experience, and a little know-how, that doesn't sell nearly as, oh my God, this team is trash. Burn it all down. Fucking fire everybody. Get Calm the fuck down. It's week 7. There's 10 more games. 10 more games. There are 10 more games. I would like to say that one more time. There are 10 more games. The record of 15-2 is still fucking out there. Good God. I mean, good God. Some of you don't. Dude, get a new hobby. Get a new hobby. Try pinochle or canasta. Maybe shuffleboard is more your speed. Back-to-back losses aren't great, but the 49ers aren't bad. Does that trend on Twitter? No, that will never trend on Twitter. Back-to-back losses aren't good, but the 49ers aren't bad, which is the only rational way to really look at this. But rational doesn't trend. Rational doesn't. Oh, I got my video got 50,000 views. Why? Well, it's because I said that Kyle Shanahan should be shot directly into the sun. Thank you. Thank you very much for shooting a head coach directly into the sun so you could get talked about how clever and spicy your shoot him into the sun analysis really was. I'm here to tell you that if you're going to say that this is Steve Wilks' fault, does Steve Wilks play on that defensive line? Because to me, this wasn't about coaching. This was about getting outplayed. The players got outplayed. The 49ers, the guys in the uniforms got their asses kicked. By the guys in the white uniforms got beaten by the guys in the purple uniforms. I don't know about the guys in the coaching uniforms. As a matter of fact, the coach in the purple uniform did an awful lot to keep the 49ers in the game. I couldn't believe that the Vikings were the opposite of aggressive on 4th down all night long. I was stunned by it. Kyrie, 2021. Damon, I'm just winding you up. Tough loss. I did watch the 49ers in the 70s. I know pain. Going to put some fish on and load up a bowl next week. There you go. There you go. Get yourself a tweezer from 97 and calm down. Zothamus, love the show despite the performance tonight. Hey, let's be totally honest. The worse a team is, the better I might be. Daryl Anthony Harper says, I thought most of the game was on the players, but Damon, you said it yourself. Where was Ronnie Bell? Where was Mason? Coaching decisions. 49ers were definitely outplayed, slightly outcoached. Thank you very much for a rational, reasonable assessment. Like, even if I didn't agree with all of that, at no point in time do I see a fire emoji, a trash can emoji, an eggplant emoji, a clown face emoji. And that means, Daryl Anthony Harper, you come and eat the prime rib at the adult table over here. There are a lot of other shows that are stuffing chicken McNuggets down the gullets of all the idiots sitting at the kids' table. We're not at the kids' table. The kids' table has already got 60,000 subscribers. The adult table is smaller, but our food is better. Always. If you really like the show, I'd love you to support the sponsor of the show. This guy right here. Because the bottom line is, Stefan wins. Stefan wins every single time I'm looking up. He's having a winning day. Every single time I'm looking up, he's easily drifting into winning weeks. I mean, it's not every gambler can win every bet. So you put it all together, Stefan is ahead by thousands of dollars. And if you've just been rolling with his picks that he gives out for daily, weekly, and monthly subscriptions at bottomlinebets.com, you're up big time. Big time. I want you to sign up with bottomlinebets.com. I want to give you a free day of handicapping using promo code Bruce, BRUCE. Promo code Bruce gets you a free day of handicapping. Sign up for Bottom Line Bets. You got a week to do it. Get it done. You'll be happy that you did. Good to see so many regulars. Good to see new names and faces. One of our king of the regulars, Otis Bird III. I agree with you, Damon. This is hard. The NFL is really a week-to-week league. What was the name of the movie? On No Sundays Can You Be Beaten? Was that it with Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx? On No Sundays Could You Ever Lose? I think that was the name of that movie, right? Yeah, that was it. You'll Never Lose on Sunday was the name of the Al Pacino movie about football. You can win every game. This is easy, I believe was the title of the parentheses in the movie. You can win every game. This is easy. Oh, no, that's right. Any Given Sunday. What do you think they meant when they titled that movie Any Given Sunday? Is that any single time you can play, you can go out and win any given? No, it means you can lose on any given Sunday against anybody. Against anybody. Did you just see I thought that they were supposed to be a Super Bowl favorite Buffalo Bills go to hey, they don't even score points anymore, and Bill Belichick forgot how to coach New England Patriots, and they got beat. Any Given Sunday. What do you know? I mean, if it's in a movie title, it must be true. Ewok. Did the 49ers peak too soon? No, they got off to a really nice start that allows them to make a mistake in a game or two along the way. And this goes down as a mistake game. This is one of those, everybody had it in the win column. And because they didn't put it in the win column, the great 5-0 start that no one was complaining about could turn into 5-3 at the end of next weekend, and then everybody's going to be complaining going into the bye week. And what's wrong? And hopefully everyone gets healthy during the bye week, and Debo and Trent, everybody's good, happy, healthy again. Then you go rip off 8 in a row after that, right? That could also happen. But no, you play like this, in any game, you're going to lose it. You miss tackles. You get gashed. You have a quarterback you can't stop me. You can't get off the field no matter what you want to do because I'm out here throwing for 378 yards. You're going to have trouble winning that game. You are going to have trouble winning that game. And look, the rich get richer. The Eagles traded for Kevin Baird of the Tennessee Titans. He's a player. He's a real good addition to their secondary. Every single time I look up, the Tennessee Titans are trading a really good player to the Philadelphia Eagles. Sean says the defense lost this game. Yes, it did. Sugar Shane. Hey, maybe Kirk Cousins was showing off for his old flame Kyle. Probably the best primetime night game of his career. Oh, it's got to be, right? I mean, it has to be. I feel like there's too much reliance on Christian McCaffrey. Zophimus. I hope I got that right. Maybe Christian McCaffrey is becoming a little bit of an offensive crutch. At the same time, that guy's making plays all over the field and he's in the end zone now a record 16 straight games. Well, he's got second place all to himself, for goodness. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is awesome. you'd have a hard time not handing him the ball too. But yeah, a little predictable, a little over-reliant, certainly on a night where Debo's not out there. Look, I mean, this entire offense at one point was Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle had 5 catches. Brandon Ayuk had 5 catches. Juwan Jennings had 5 catches. Nobody had more than 80 yards receiving. 78 receiving yards for George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey had 3 catches, including a 35-yarder, which I believe was the 49ers' biggest play of the entire night, and that's after Kittle made his biggest play of the entire night, and that was the 3-play, 75-yard, 65-second, bang-bang, 49ers are right back in it drive that they needed, and they dialed up what they needed when they needed it, but then the defense let it go. I mean, it's easy to look at the end and the 2 Brock Purdy interceptions and say that that's where the game's lost. You're trying to come back. Are you trying to come back if you're not? I mean, look, the 49ers had 0 points at the 2-minute warning. We're down 10-0 after the worst half of team defense that I can really remember, certainly this season, and it felt like the football gods had kissed this team on the forehead, only being down 10-0. First 4 drives for the Vikings offense. I mean, it was a miracle that the 49ers were only down what they were only down 9 at the half, even after that really bad, thought you had an interception. Nope, never mind. It's a Jordan Addison touchdown play. First 4 drives for the Vikings offense. Had 12 first downs, 4 of 5 on third down, gave up 9 yards per play. The 49ers allowed 270 yards of offense in 4 drives. It was a miracle they were only down 9. Vikings had 5 straight scoring possessions. And even after their 5 straight scoring possessions, the 49ers were within 8 points. I mean, the 49ers, if they had won the game, honestly, if the 49ers had come back to win this game tonight, I thought that they should have given a game ball to whoever's job it was in Minnesota to decide when to go for it on 4th down or not. Because you got a lot of spreadsheets saying you go for it in a lot of the situations where they either punted or they settled for a field goal tonight. They were first and goal from the 1, first and goal from the 2. Came out with 3 points on both of those drives. The Niners needed a little bit of momentum. You got McCaffrey, make one guy miss, gone, 35-yard touchdown reception. Now it's just a 5-point game. It felt like the momentum had absolutely gotten back to the 49ers. But then that defense took the field again, and they didn't do shit. Defense got outplayed. The defense, again, defense only gave up 22 points, which is an acceptable defensive evening from a point standpoint. They didn't get off the field on 3rd down. Couldn't do it all night long. That was the most out-of-sync first half that I can remember for a 49ers defense, and it didn't get better in the second half. The adjustments were, it's not getting better. You had Warner missing tackles. You had McCaffrey fumbling. You had Moody missing another field goal. You had the defense buckling everywhere. Kirk Cousins doesn't throw that opening series interception. Where might have this gone? 49ers lost the turnover battle to the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings just turned the ball over in their locker room when they were trying to hand out a game ball. Probably fumbled that. Niners lost a turnover battle tonight. I didn't see that one coming. I really didn't. Ward wanted another interception. I thought that he had made it. I mean, he'd wrestled one away from the guy earlier in the game. I don't mind him doing that again, but you can't just spin yourself to the ground and watch the guy run to the end zone with 7 seconds left in the half. The 49ers lost this game not getting off the field on third down. Full stop. That's really what it was. I mean, I don't think Brock Purdy is the problem. I didn't think tonight Kyle Shanahan was the problem. You know, football angry fan playbook says run a play directly at the head coach or the quarterback because it's got to be one of their problems. I didn't think that that's where this game was lost. The game was lost by the players who never once came within a neighborhood of Kirk Cousins. I mean, did they even hit him? Maybe once or twice they actually hit him? Xavier's right about this. You know, soft coverage works when you're getting pressure. You're not getting pressure. Not getting pressure. You know, sucks to lose 2 in a row. I've never met an NFL fan who wouldn't take 5-2 to start a year. 5-2 in an any given Sunday league. It's a good start, kids. Now, you know what's better than that? 6-2. 6-2 is a lot better than 5-3. And if the 49ers on a short week beat the Bengals, coming off a bye week to get to 6-2 in front of their bye week, you're going to feel a whole lot better. But guess what? That win over the Bengals won't win you the Super Bowl either. Stay healthy, qualify for the postseason, then we'll talk about expectations and who's a contender. This is about regular season survival. And yeah, you actually get to say it this week. You're on to Cincinnati. LM. Great pull. I can't believe I didn't get to it first. Alfonso says, solid Monday night game to watch. Yeah, I mean, look, if you didn't have a dog in the fight, it was an entertaining game, right? I mean, it was tight, back and forth. Felt like, you know, even though the Vikings should be running away with this, they're not. The 49ers hanging around. Kirk Cousins, he recovered after that interception. He sure did. He turned into Tom Brady there for a little bit. Sam Ireland. Did Jordan Mason play a single snap tonight? I didn't see him. I didn't see him on the field. He certainly doesn't have a statistic that resembles a carry, a reception, or a target. That doesn't mean he got no snaps. He might have been in there, but I didn't notice him. And at one point, Christian McCaffrey had played 44 consecutive offensive snaps. Not bad for a guy who's, you know, rubbing cocaine on his oblique so it doesn't hurt him. He got shot up with something, and whatever it was, it worked. The SG Sports Talk channel says, hi, Damon Bruce. Well, hi, SG Sports Talk channel. How are you doing tonight? What? Great. Thank you. What, are you just messing with me? Here's the thing. We're going to be here win or lose. We're going to be talking about what actually just happened in a football game. I did not grow up a 49ers fan. I don't consider myself a 49ers fan, and I think that makes me more valuable to you than any collection of Niner fans who are now covering their team could ever be. You know, objective look at football games, again, probably not sexy, probably doesn't trend. It used to be valuable, I thought. Hey, let's have some objectivity and talk about what really happened, not just about how angry we are and how many trash can emojis I can use after someone's name. 49ers need to get more aggressive at the trade deadline. 49ers need to get more aggressive at the trade deadline, and it's time. It's time to make draft pick sacrifices in the name of this is a year where you got grand plans, and they shouldn't not have grand plans because they've lost 2 in a row. Nick Bosa's got to get going. Drake Jackson's got to get going. Eric Armstead needs to join this team. Is he even on it? Did Eric Armstead make the plane? Let's see. Did Eric Armstead make a tackle? He did not. No tackles for Eric Armstead. Randy Gregory, he at least busted into the backfield a couple times. No tackles. Oh, Jordan Mason did get a snap. He had a tackle tonight. Jordan Mason had a tackle. No carry, no reception, but he had a tackle. Bosa, 5 tackles, all solo, 1 tackle for a loss. You know, those are just a guy stats. Nick Bosa is a lot more than just a guy. Again, I don't think that this failure is Steve Wilks' failure. I think the failure of tonight was on the players who didn't do enough, got pushed around 2 weeks in a row. You're getting your asses kicked at the line of scrimmage, boys. I'm not used to seeing it happen. You must not be used to it happening to you, because I've been watching. And these are 2 of the worst weeks of defensive pressure, tackling ability that I can remember. Bad weeks against teams that were missing their biggest offensive weapons. Deshaun and Nick Chubb last week, and tonight, no Jefferson. Didn't matter. Jordan Addison turned into Randy Moss. You know, guys needed to make plays for Brock Purdy tonight. Brandon Ayuk made some plays. George Kittle made some plays. Christian McCaffrey made some plays, but no one else really got involved. You know, Juwan Jennings had a few catches, but they weren't profound. You know, Ray McLeod is doing nothing offensively for this team. Where was Ronnie Bell? How come Jordan Mason's not getting some touches? Those are all legitimate questions. Doesn't mean anyone is trash or failure or needs an eggplant emoji stuck in their ass. All right. Nate, Damon for president. Again, I wouldn't even want that job. But I'll talk you through a football loss. I'd be happy to do that. Ayuk needed the ball more. Guy's incredible. Keep feeding him. Keep feeding him. This team is built to be pretty good. They haven't been good the last 2 weeks. Kim says, Damon gets spicy when they lose and then breaks down what went wrong. I'm trying. I don't even know if that needed an Italian accent, but I put it on there. Mark says, dude, you are the man. It's good to hear a guy talk like guys talk in real life. Best 49ers podcast out there. That's a thing. I don't need the FCC in my life anymore. This is how I talk. And I don't need to censor myself, because the one thing I've determined, and my wife is determined too, is that Damon Bruce cannot be laid off over here. We've figured that one out. As a matter of fact, we've determined that I might be the single most important host on the Damon Bruce channel. So he stays. Oh, but he really offended people with what he said or how he said it. Oh, he doesn't care at all. anymore. I never have to care about hurting some sensitive pussy ever again who probably shouldn't be listening to sports talk in the first place. I don't have to worry about those assholes anymore. And my wife is totally right about this. Damon hates emojis. I hate emojis. I'm a language guy. I'm a talk. Give me vocabulary, not hieroglyphics. Wait, writing on caves? Talking in pictures? Learn how to write a sentence. Learn where to put a comma, for fuck's sakes. Clown face, clown face, clown face, clown face, clown face. What kind of world are we living in? Yeah, bad couple losses in a row. But last time I checked, 5-2 is pretty good. There are only 2 teams in football with a better record than the 49ers. Trash can emoji, trash can emoji, trash can emoji. I mean, well, good God. Thanks, Damon. Thank you. Thank you. East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I was a guest on their show just a couple weeks ago on to Cincinnati. How about this? East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'm not saying I don't want to come on the show again, but the team is 0-2 since my appearance. So you might not want to have me on the show again. Maybe it's me. Did any of you think of Damon's appearances on the Red and Gold podcast could be what's undermining this season? It's really not Steve Wilkes. It's Damon going on other podcasts. Maybe that's it. Here's what I love. People are trying to be like, Damon, it's any given Sunday. Yeah, I know. I was playing the opposite of that for effect. Catch up. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Chris gets a golf clap on this one. Should have called it any given third down. Yeah, the 49ers were losing any and all given third downs tonight. That's funny, Chris. Well done. I saw Any Given Sunday as a kid. I'll never forget the dongs I saw in that locker room. Shout out locker room dongs. I guess it all comes back to eggplant emoji anyways. I think I give good post game. I think we know how to swallow some emotions for real conversation. I'll tell you where I'm really good. It's when I get a night to sleep on this. I wake up early tomorrow morning, put on a pot of coffee. We'll be right back at it with Larry Krueger at 8 a.m. 49ers wake up. Looking forward to that. But it's great being with you here on Bottom Line Bets post-game show, bottomlinebets.com. The hottest handicapper in Las Vegas is my friend Stefan. He's been a great supporter of this channel. If you want to support this channel, go support Stefan. Give him some of your business. Give him some of your attention. And he's telling you the attention is free the first time around by using promo code Bruce. Sign up for Bottom Line Bets. Use promo code Bruce. Or better yet, you just go ahead and sign up for a month right now. Spend a month with it. Because look, one day could go wrong for anyone. Have you ever been to Vegas? Have you ever had a bad day in Vegas? Did you ever stay 2 days and the next day was a whole different day? That happens. That happens. Sign up a month with Stefan. If you're making plays, if you're actually gambling, and I know a lot of you are, you're football fans, you like putting a little money on these games, go ahead. Ride with my man Stefan. Sign up for a month at bottomlinebets.com. Sign up for a year. You could sign up for a day. You could sign up for a week. Or you get 1 day for free by using promo code Bruce, B-R-U-C-E, at bottomlinebets.com. Support the channel. Support my sponsors. When you lose games you're supposed to win, you don't get the first round bye, and then you lose. Yeah, that couldn't happen. That can happen. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather be a wild card with a healthy team than be missing Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel and have home field advantage. I don't think that there's really anything, not home field, not away field. There's nothing that dictates postseason success more than did you win the war of attrition? 49ers did not do well going into this game when it comes to the war of attrition. And it was a game that they lost. Hold on, I got a cough. Try to mute us, so mute myself so you don't have to suffer through the cough with me. The NFL has figured out the 49ers. I'm going to say their last two opponents beat the 49ers before I'm going to go and agree with you on the NFL has figured it out. Joseph, are you suggesting that when this year is over, the 49ers are going to be a 5-12 football team? No wins from here to the end of the year. The NFL's so figured out the Niners. I don't think so. It's a season of one scores for the Vikings. This year, they lost 4 games by one score. Last year, they won 11 games by one score. The 49ers have lost back-to-back games by 7 points. I know you really wanted them. I know you expected them. I know they kind of looked like wins. They weren't. Doesn't mean the year's over. Doesn't mean the year is over. That's a pretty good point here by Mick YD saying, Bell hasn't done anything in a game to lose trust. Is something going on in practice? Media's not allowed to watch practice. To me, you got to put him in the game if you want to see how he's going to play the game. I don't even know how many snaps he got out there. But Ronnie Bell is, look, being a wide receiver for Kyle Shanahan, name me the young wide receiver that he's ever really fallen in love with. I mean, Brandon Ayuk's career began with him being a wide receiver in Kyle's doghouse. Shanahan eats his young receivers alive. I heard that they drafted this speed demon named Danny Gray. We still haven't seen him. I know he gets hurt, but I still don't even know who he is. Alfonso said, I just smoked my bowl. Right on. I'm probably going to do the same thing in a little bit myself. You hop into a game of Madden. Not that I need more football in my life tonight, but I'm going to have to do something to cool down a little bit. Rumors are the Niners are interested in Davante Adams. Is there any need or reason to make a play for him? I would much rather this team add. To me, this offense is not a problem. I'd rather you look for, if you can trade the assets to get you Davante Adams, you might be able to pry a right tackle off of somebody for the same price. What would you have to give up for Davante? That same package gets you a better right tackle than Colton McKivitz, gets you Brian Burns, the exemplary young defensive end from the Carolina Panthers, gets you Patrick Surtain. We'll get that right if they actually do trade for him. What else we got going on here? Who is the most elite soft coverage corner in the league that we could sign? Here's the thing, Ewok. I get that you're joking. How about you get someone who can just play straight up man-to-man? You'd have to stop playing so much soft coverage. Steve Wilkes, maybe that's his blind spot, sticking with a formula that's not working. Or you could say it's hard to change up the formula when you're getting zero. I'm talking zero pressure. Daryl, I get to sit at the adult table. Yay. Yeah, you do. You do. Let me give you a little bit of a silver lining tonight. Again, remember the guy supposedly hurt, oblique, some tears there, a little straining. That's kind of normal. I've seen doctors say this is normal. You shoot him up. He said he felt good enough. He was good enough to score 2 touchdowns tonight. The only 2 touchdowns the 49ers scored were thanks to Christian McCaffrey. It's his 16th straight game with a touchdown. 16 straight games, including the playoffs, is the second longest touchdown streak of any kind, of its kind, I should say, in NFL history. Lenny Moore, who was a Baltimore Colts Hall of Famer, played before I was born, scored in 17 consecutive games, postseason included. McCaffrey has 16 now. So if he scores touchdown in 2 more games in a row, he will have scored more touchdowns in consecutive games than any human who's ever lived in the NFL. Look, Jordan Addison was awesome. He was the best player on the field tonight. Not named Kirk Cousins, who did everything that any coach could ever ask of their quarterback. Kirk Cousins was on the money tonight. He was great. All right. I want to get in, certainly looking for super chats. Want to make sure we're not meeting or missing any of those. Sam says, Damon, you're too hard for the fucking radio. Look at it this way. Getting laid off of radios made me a little harder. I think you can make an argument that with the entire way the world is moving, we will reach a tipping point where they're going to need me more than I'm going to need them. And that's a day where Jillian and I sit back and just laugh. It's going to be great. Looking forward to that day. Well, RIP Cougar Rebel says, Dusty Baker stepping down as Houston manager? Seriously? Did Dusty just manage his last game ever tonight? I don't know. RIP Cougar Rebel isn't the kind of guy who spreads nonsense. If you heard something I haven't read yet, I've been over here hosting a show, so I don't know. But, wow. What a weird series that was. Not a single home win in a 7-game series. Bruce Bochy back in the World Series, baby. That's great. I want Bochy to win another World Series. That would just be the exclamation point on the San Francisco Giants year. It really would. Bruce Bochy winning a World Series the same year that Gabe Kapler didn't even last the season. Brandon Ayuk pretty much vanished in that second half, to be honest. Alex, he had a bigger first half than he did a second half, but I don't think that it is, again, Brandon Ayuk is not the problem. Damon, are you on the Niners payroll? Yes. Nobody are you on the Niners payroll. Joan in payroll has not cut me a single check. What are you talking about? We could get this analysis from Greg Papa if we wanted pandering. This isn't pandering. This is honesty. It only sounds pandering if all you've been fed in your life is bullshit. I am the antidote for bullshit. That's why I sound so different. This isn't pandering. I am not coddling up the 49ers fans. But the truth is, if you want to shit your pants after you've lost back-to-back games by a combined 7 points, this league isn't for you. This channel's not going to be for you. You're going to have to go. You're going to have to go somewhere else and just have pity parties with all your pussy bitch friends who don't know how to watch football. It's week 7, you candy ass. There's 10 more weeks of football. You know how long 10 weeks of football is? It's an eternity. The amount of things that can go right and go wrong go to infinity in both directions. Trying to say that you know everything you need to know after you've lost back-to-back games to still have one of the best records in the entire league is ridiculous. Look, if there's a point where it's abandon ship, everything's wrong, pull the fire alarm and run, I'll let you know. We'll do that show, but we're not going to do that show until it's time to do that show. We're not going to do that show because it feels good because everyone's so angry and it'll help us trend and it'll help us get clicks. No, what we don't do is piss our leg every time the doorbell rings. Calm down. Uh-oh. Careful, Damon. The Plus HR department is watching. My wife making all HR decisions. She doesn't want to have to host this shit, so I bet you I stay. I bet you I stay. Yeah, totally. Jillian has a badass real job. And then there's this, whatever this is. And it's great. Being self-employed is great. I quit on a regular basis. I hire myself back. It's so freeing. Yeah, you know what? I quit. I'm good. I quit. I've had a change of heart. I decided that this is the life I wanted to live after all. So here we are. Thanks for being patient with me. Bruno BB. Thank you very much, Bruno. A tip goes right into the ganja jar, which is right behind me. There. Oops, see, I still don't. I'd make a terrible weatherman. I'd always be pointing at the wrong town. I'm bad at doing it backwards. There's the ganja jar. Thank you very much. It'll be fuller thanks to you, Bruno. Sports media has been praising the 49ers D as an elite group. I feel up to this point they're a B-. This is not a Super Bowl caliber defense right now. Playoff team, we shall see. Fair. Again, there's nothing but overreaction. That includes positive. And look, the 49ers, from a points allowed standpoint, yards given up standpoint, turnover created standpoint, right up until they landed in Cleveland, they were right there with the Browns for the best defense in football, bar none conversation. They really, truly were. It's been 8 less than quarters from this defensive line that's got you rethinking everything. And let's be completely honest. If the defensive line doesn't solve its own problem, and I don't think that there's a coach to help them solve their problem. I don't think it's on Kasurek. I don't think it's on Steve Wilks. I don't think it's on Kyle Shanahan. Those guys know what they need to do. They're not doing it. And if they start doing it, things should be just fine. If they don't start doing it, yeah, all bets are off for anything that even resembles a Super Bowl appearance. This defensive line has regressed, no doubt. Joseph, I think Jillian is spelled with a J. Nope. She's a G. A real motherfucking G. The show tomorrow is going to be incredible. It really will be. Look, everything the Kardashians touch dies. Like they killed Kanye's career. They killed Bruce Jenner's career. Well, no, I mean, maybe they helped launch it. I don't know about Bruce. Well, Caitlyn Jenner's career. The Kardashians are really good for themselves, but everything that they come in contact with, like, goes away. Reggie Bush, poor guy. I did see, Jillian showed me, Nick Bosa today launched a "Here's my bulge" ad campaign. And look, if I were built like Nick Bosa, I'd be doing this show buck naked right now. That guy is a human specimen. If there were ever a professional athlete who could also do a little underwear modeling on the side, it's him. But he is now working with the Kardashians. There might be something to this team going in the wrong direction and that happening all at the same time. Sporticus. Again, nobody else had Kardashians ruining the season but my wife. But that's the kind of analysis that I need. Roland says, Damon, I've been listening to you since the 4 letters that won't be named. Oh, no, KNBR. I hope KNBR wins every book now, beat 95. KNBR didn't do me wrong. 95.7 The Game did me wrong. And I like everyone at 95.7 The Game. They didn't do me wrong. But their parent company needs to fall out of the sky in a corporate airplane tragedy. Like, fuck everybody at Odyssey. Billion-dollar company can't afford to put a single real dollar up for a real host. Corny. Jess says, Damon, I'll put my money that you're gay. Well, first of all, if I were, I'd be the most flamin', like, banana hammock wearing gay dude you've ever met. Do I present gay? You really think I'm gay? Should we ask my wife and my 2 children about how gay I am? Come on, man. And by the way, even if I were gay, fuck you, you homophobe. How about that? If I were gay, I'd be turbo gay. It'd be awesome. You'd never seen anybody this gay had I been gay. But unfortunately, not gay. Sorry. One might even say at times I'm brimming with toxic masculinity. Oh. When he said, tell me how they've figured them out with what schemes and what formations since you this genius. You thought that the 49ers lost a game of X's and O's tonight? This was not a game of X's and O's. This was a game of Kirk Cousins playing his dick off, Jordan Addison having the best night of his entire young career, and a night where the 49ers defense didn't get to the opposing quarterback, which led the opposing quarterback to have as much time to throw the ball around the field as he needed. This was not a team that got outcoached. This was a team that got outplayed. This was a got outplayed game, not outcoached game. I know that you just started watching football, so just catch up, subscribe to this channel. You'll eventually learn, and you'll stop saying gay, homophobic, awful things, and be able to talk football like an adult. Until then, enjoy the chicken nuggets. You're going back to the kiddie table. Uh-oh, this Damon ran out of weed, smoked it all during that stressing game, had to travel to the damn club after that loss. I hope you took me with you. I hope you can take me on the road with you. That's the fun part. The Eagles lost to Zach Wilson and Jalen Hurts through 3 picks in that game. Things happen. Again, things happen. Any given Sunday, like the movie said. Come on, man. This isn't easy. This isn't easy. Nothing in this league. This league is built to take your success and spit on it every week. Every single time you look up, there's a team that's supposed to win a game, losing a football game in this league. All the time. This guy's a savage. He doesn't know shit about football. But here you are, gobbling this dick. Who's gay now? Seriously. Get off my nuts. They're not for you, sexy. You couldn't handle it. Oh, my goodness. The amount of people who just start shitting their pants when their teams lose. It's stunning. It's stunning how many people you don't know what to do other than shit your pants. You don't know what to do. So you just shit your pants every single time it comes up. Postman in Capitola. Oy, oy, oy! Thank you, Postman. Joan and Payroll gets that shout out. Thank you very much for the super chat, Postman. There you go. Jillian Bruce says, I'm going to pull that clip. Thanks, honey. You are a G. Oh, by the way, G stands for gay. That's not really my wife. That Jillian Bruce, her name is Steve. Steve in a wig. Unbelievable. Kim Schaefer, 2 thumbs up. I think that was for the Odyssey shots. She knows. She's been around radio. Jason, my 81-year-old mom loves you and how effing blunt you are. Thank you. Again, I'm not for everyone. If you're an absolute sensitive fanboy, this ain't going to be for you. I suggest that you not only don't subscribe to the channel, I suggest you turn your damn wireless internet off. This isn't for you. This is not a show for everyone. This is not for mass consumption. Not anymore, it's not. Kitty table. Yeah, there's some kitty table. Serious kitty table going on. Got some D's nuts going on. D's nut. Hold on. You like D's nuts?
Come on, D's. D's nuts.
I got the Borat banana hammock if you ever want to borrow it, Damon. Never even opened the box. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want it if it's used, but a new one, yes, I'm interested. A buddy of mine had a bachelor party. We put him in a banana hammock. That was fun for no one. No one at all. Look, 49ers. 49. Oh, Kim's got me. My beautiful beard wife. We did. We rented the kids for public appearances. They're not even ours. Just really create that look. Big Mac, you're right. You are absolutely right. We didn't get maximum football tonight. Just pitiful. Thank you very much, Tiger Tank. Appreciate the compliment. Appreciate so many of you for rolling with me for the better part of 2 hours. Wow, we're 2 hours into this show. I feel like we just got going, but we got more to do. More coming up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Larry Krueger and I got 49ers Wake Up coming for you. Alex in Atlanta says, Damon, in all serious, I do appreciate the realism that you spout out every day on your stream. Your commentary seems genuine, well-informed. It's appreciated. Well, I appreciate that, Alex in Atlanta. Thank you very, very much. Again, it's not for everyone, but if you think you dig what you hear tonight, hit that like, drop a subscribe, drop a notify on me, and help this grow. And this is going to need help growing. Like I said, this isn't for everyone. This is not for everyone. So, help me shove it down everyone's throats, and then we'll really piss everybody off. Real fans in here with you post-game, and thank you, Days. Thank you very much. McFly, JP, been following you since the sports leader days, and now followed you everywhere you go. Thank you very much. I'm just not in the hot take business. Not in the hot take business. Oh, my beard wants to thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, honey. And thanks to all of you. One last time, let me say thank you to a fabulous sponsor who has helped keep the lights on in this house with his patronage. I would like you to help keep his lights on. Sign up at bottomlinebets.com. Oh, my man, by the way, he keeps the lights on in Vegas. Like, that's how well he's doing. Go to bottomlinebets.com. Use promo code Bruce. You get a free day of handicapping from Stefan, who I swear to God is the hottest handicapper in America, and he's got the documented numbers to almost prove that. It's ridiculous. This guy is winning games every single time I look up, and if just football is all you're interested in, then you're not really interested in winning, because Stefan's bringing you winners from playoff baseball, from hockey games. He's looking at stuff like first period goal overs. He might not be betting what America likes to bet on. He'll be looking for the others. If you're interested in winning on the others, man, Bottom Line Bets is for you. Bottomlinebets.com. Use promo code Bruce. Support the channel by supporting my sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you again tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We'll be right back at it. Yours truly, Larry Krueger. We simulcast on our channels. He has so many more subscribers than I do. Make sure you watch it over here on Damon Bruce Plus. In the meantime, boy, do I thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry that the Niners lost. The good news is it's week 7. The good news is they still have one of the best records in football. The good news is they're a really good football team who have played 2 bad football games. Good football teams play bad football games in the NFL, and there are 10 more games coming up. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot of football. I mean, not only is this not over, you're not even at the halfway point. 49ers got outplayed. Kirk Cousins was awesome tonight. Didn't see that one coming, but it happened. 49ers need to think about adding another pass rusher, another cornerback. That's their job between now and the trade deadline. And if they do that, you'll like their chances even more. Still a lot of time left here. I got 15-2s out there, folks. It's still out there. Hope to see you at 49ers Wake Up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your patronage means the world to me, my fake wife, my pretend children, and my otherwise very homosexual lifestyle. Clearly, I mean, this is as gay as it gets. You can be homophobic in 2023. I live in San Francisco. Fuck you, buddy. Shame on you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And a lot of you reveal that you ain't built for football. But the good people in the chat that we talked to tonight, for the most part, you sure are. It was great talking to you. Thanks so much for stopping on by.